let's just jump right in. Have you ever wondered why some teams absolutely thrive under pressure, while others just completely fall apart? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the concrete skills that separate struggling supervisors from truly extraordinary leaders. We're taking management theory and bringing it straight into everyday practice.
Picture this scenario. You've got two managers working at the exact same company. They've got the same budget, the exact same number of employees, and access to all the same resources. But fast forward a year, and Team A is failing miserably. We're talking missed deadlines, rock-bottom morale, people constantly quitting. Meanwhile, Team B, they are breaking records, and profits are actually growing.
So you really have to ask yourself, what creates this massive gap? I mean, it's not just the lucky roll of the dice, and it's definitely not just about who has more years on their resume. Honestly, it all comes down to mastering some very specific, highly actionable management skills.
Now, if you're trying to fix a failing team, the very first thing we have to do is completely redefine what management even means. It is not about sitting in a corner office barking orders. True management is literally all about helping other people succeed. It's about cultivating an environment where your employees can perform at their absolute best.
To make these 10 critical skills super easy to digest, we've organized them into 4 main pillars: mastering interpersonal dynamics, driving execution and results, empowering and protecting teams, and adapting for the future. Let's kick things off with Part 1, Mastering Interpersonal Dynamics. This is where we look at communication, leadership, and emotional intelligence.
Think about what happens when an employee struggles. Poor managers will almost immediately look for someone to blame. But a great manager, they act more like an investigator. They ask questions, they actually listen, and they pinpoint the real challenge before they start giving advice. And guys, this is huge because companies literally lose millions of dollars every single year just because of poor communication.
Which naturally brings us right into leadership. You know, a boss assigns tasks, and people follow because they have to. But a real leader, they inspire people to follow because they actually want to. They set the tone through their own actions. At the end of the day, people really don't remember exactly what a leader said. They remember how that leader made them feel.
Rounding out this first pillar is emotional intelligence. Just visualize a major project going completely off the rails. One manager explodes in anger, and hey, we've all probably seen that happen, while another reads the room and handles it calmly. A lot of experts actually argue that managing your own emotions is way more critical than your technical know-how. All right, moving right along to Part 2, driving execution and results. Here, we're focusing on decision-making, time management, and problem-solving.
So skill number 4 is decision-making. Picture opening your laptop on a Monday morning and seeing that sales have suddenly tanked by 30%. An inexperienced manager is going to panic, but a highly skilled decision maker, they stay cool, look at the hard data, and study customer behavior before they even think about drafting an action plan.
Then we have skill 5, time management. This is the ultimate equalizer, right? You, me, the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, we all get exactly 24 hours in a day. The difference is how successful managers use them. Instead of constantly reacting to urgent distractions or living inside their email inbox, they ruthlessly prioritize high-impact work.
Because let's be real, being busy absolutely does not mean you're being productive. The best time managers plan out their day in advance, they aggressively cut out unnecessary meetings, and they completely drop the illusion that multitasking actually works. It's all about doing the work that moves the needle.
Skill 6 is problem solving. Look, disasters are going to happen. A server crashes, a supplier goes MIA, it's inevitable. But instead of pointing fingers, strong managers rely on a concrete, methodical process. They identify the real cause, collect the facts, weigh their options, pick the best route, and review the results. When you handle disasters calmly, your team feels incredibly secure.
That takes us to Part 3, empowering and protecting teams. This is all about delegation and conflict resolution.
Skill 7 is delegation. And this is a massive trap for new leaders. They try to do everything themselves. Sure, building every single slide deck yourself might make you feel super productive, but it's a fast track to burnout. You get real growth when you hand that presentation over to an employee who's hungry to build their own skills.
So the crucial takeaway here is this. Delegation is not about just avoiding your own work. It's about multiplying your results. When you train your team to handle common issues independently, you are unlocking the secret multiplier of a truly high-performing team.
Skill 8, conflict resolution. Whenever humans work together, messy disagreements are going to happen. It's totally normal. Your goal isn't to magically eliminate all conflict, but to actually manage it. You have to act as an impartial referee. You listen to both sides equally, stick to the facts instead of getting swept up in the emotion, and find a solution that helps everyone. Taking sides too fast will absolutely destroy your team's morale.
Finally, we reach part 4, adapting for the future. Let's look at strategic thinking and adaptability. Skill 9, strategic thinking. It is so incredibly easy to just put your head down and fight today's fires. But you have to carve out quiet time to look up and ask the forward-looking questions. Where does this company need to be a year from now? What risks are lurking just over the horizon? You want to prepare for change way before it has the chance to blindside you.
And that leads right into our final skill, adaptability. Just look at the business landscape we're dealing with today. It's flooded with AI, shifting remote work dynamics, and entirely new customer expectations. Managers who refuse to adapt are going to become outdated fast. You've got to be a lifelong learner who stays flexible when the unexpected inevitably happens.
So to quickly summarize, these 10 foundational competencies, everything from how you communicate and make decisions to your emotional intelligence and adaptability, these are the ground-level tools that will elevate you from simply being a boss to becoming a true leader.
Now, nobody is born with all of these tools perfectly sharpened. It takes time and continuous improvement. So here's your action plan. Pick just one skill from this list today, practice it in every single meeting, in every email you write, until it just becomes a natural habit. Once you've got it down, move on to the next one.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look really closely at your own team's current dynamics. Ask yourself honestly, which of these 10 essential skills do you need to master first to turn things around? Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.